Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Welcome back to another edition of Double OT. That's Yanni Karakis. I'm Ruthie Polinsky. This is Mark Dendero. 3 for 3 again this week. All three of us here.
That's the goal.
You guys are getting cozy over there. I got a little space over here.
Yeah, we touched knees earlier.
It's fine.
We're gonna
Can handle it.
Some nice jeans, Dondi.
Thanks, Yanni. All right, let's go.
Okay, Double OT with Yanni and Mark. You guys ready? Patriots, are they the Super Bowl favorites? Are they still the Super Bowl favorites without Edelman?
Yes,
there
100%. We talked all summer long, Mark, that this team had so much depth that even if Tom Brady went down, I think they'd get to the AFC Championship with Jimmy Garoppolo, but no singular player would derail the Super Bowl visit. We saw it last year with Rob Gronkowski. That being said, let's not minimize what this means. Edelman is Tom Brady's go-to pass catcher on third down. He's his security blanket, if you will. But they have so many weapons on offense with Brandon Cooks and Hogan and Malcolm Mitchell and Rob Gronkowski and all the running backs that catch passes, that the offense, I think, will become a little bit different, and we'll talk about this in the next topic, how they adjust, but it'll still be formidable. Unlike 2 years ago when Edelman went down, they didn't have a whole lot of weapons besides Gronk to help fill in. So this is a unique case. They're still the Super Bowl favorites.
Mark's itching to speak over here.
I agree with you about 2 years ago. It's a totally different situation. I will just say this one thing. They are in a better position, and Edelman is a beast, okay?
Beast.
They're going to miss him, but they are in a better position this year to approximate the production of Julian Edelman than they were last year when they were trying to fill in or replace Rob Gronkowski. And last year, they still won the Super Bowl. And they're in, again, a better position this year to approximate what Julian Edelman gave them. Now, we're going to get into how they're going to replace him. It's a huge loss, though, mainly because Tom Brady talked a lot about trust, but mainly because identity-wise, Edelman is their big kind of, I don't want to call him a symbol, but he's a big part of the identity of the Patriots. Toughness, those passes over the middle, the quickness, the short stuff, and he's BFFs with Brady. So that hurts. You lose your buddy.
I think it's a lot of what we're hearing is that it's just going to be sad not to have him on the field. It's just people are just going to miss his leadership, his work ethic, how he plays, but he's still going to be around, don't you think? I mean, it'll
he will be around because Bill said that.
He won't be on the sideline during games.
I didn't really answer the question here. Yes, they are still Super Bowl favorites without Julian Edelman in the lineup. I will say this, though. If for some reason, and I saw Rob Gronkowski on a few do not draft fantasy lists, I know you love to take them early.
Always.
Yeah. If now they're loaded, they have all these weapons, blah, blah, blah. If they somehow lose Edelman and Rob Gronkowski, that's a different story.
It's a problem.
Now we're talking about two of the most dynamic guys in the league out. I'm not saying they won't get anything done on offense, but that's a bad situation. Gronk now becomes more important to the lineup that Edelman is out.
It will be the most Patriots thing of all time for them to get to the Super Bowl this year without Edelman. That'll be the most Patriots thing of all time. And honestly, can I say one thing too? I also am surprised by how little people are. I mean, don't get me wrong, people are upset, but I'm surprised by how little people are upset about Edelman. Like, they're still very, very confident in the depth of this team.
Well,
because they're stacked.
It's because they're stacked.
They're stacked,
saying,
and also
you think of New England fans to just kind of freak.
Well,
without him.
You keep in mind how many injuries like this have we seen over the last few years? Gronk has gone out. These big names have gone out. So it's just what happens.
Okay, follow-up question for you, Mark. You were big on the 19-0. Big.
Okay.
What about now?
Well, first of all, good job bringing that up.
You're welcome.
I'm still going to pick them to go undefeated.
You got to stick with your guns.
I'm sticking with them. Now, again, I did say that the loss of one key guy could derail 19-0 quickly. But because it's Edelman and because of all the depth, and again, we're going to get into how they replace him, but because they have a lot of depth and can approximate, in my mind, his production, I will stick with it for now. We'll see what happens, but for now, I'm sticking with it.
I hope they have an early season loss so we don't have to ask Dundero every week.
Every week, 19-0.
Well, I mean, 2 years ago, they were 10-0 heading into, who'd they lose to?
2 years ago, they were 10-0, and was it Denver?
They beat the Giants. They lost to Denver with your boy at quarterback.
My boy?
Who can't even get a job anymore.
Yeah, Brock Osweiler.
Yeah. You like Brock Osweiler?
I have no
Do you realize how absurd
that
Brock Osweiler won that game and then Manning swooped in at the end of the season and they won the Super Bowl? God, that bothers me.
Okay.
That's
what do we
a
got
totally
next? What do
different
we got
topic.
next?
Okay, who fills the role? Who fills Edelman's role?
So I think what they do is today or Tuesday at practice, we saw Danny Amendola primarily in the slot. Now Brandon Cooks was running mostly deep patterns. That is not really what Julian Edelman does. Chris Hogan was there. Malcolm Mitchell was back, so that's good. Yeah. So all those guys will factor in. But they have so many pass-catching running backs, as we all know. That will be a primary way that they fill his shoes.
Sure.
Now, it might not be the same routes. It might not be exactly the same scheme or the same pass patterns that Julian Edelman himself would have run, but they'll find a way to get those short passes completed and gain those yards.
Not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I think what the Patriots do best more than any other team in the NFL is they change their game plan week to week. So it's like a game plan now without Edelman. I don't think he's going to have a direct replacement, as you alluded to. I think Amendola can do sort of what Edelman does, but he's more of an outside the numbers guy. I mean, he does like that quick out.
Amendola?
I'm sorry, Amendola. Not outside the numbers, like go down. He's a slot guy, but he doesn't provide you that same.
He's not the athlete Julian Edelman is.
He's not the
athlete Julian Edelman is.
A lot of their catches, I think, are in a different sort of scheme, if you will.
But he's damn good, though.
Like, I don't think you put Amendola into every route that Edelman does.
No, he probably can't.
So I think, like you said, they use the running backs doing a lot of pass catching, and they just change a lot of the calls. They're going to go more to Hogan. They're going to go more to Cooks. They're going to go more to Mitchell. So I don't think they replace him directly with one person. I do think it'll be Amendola taking a lot of those side of things. But remember, I asked Belichick this yesterday, like, when you lose Edelman, how do you kind of regroup? And he said, well, we don't like design plays directly for Edelman. He may be one of the top options depending on the coverage, but, you know, those plays may still exist, and Brady may just be going to Gronk or outside.
You got some good words out of Bill with that question. He gave you a good answer. I like this question.
He was a little condescending, but yeah, it was a good response.
What else is new? Let me ask you this. Is Danny Amendola, remember, he wasn't practicing with the team the first couple days of camp, kind of the talk of his health.
They kind of use gloves with him.
He's getting older, right? He's 31, 32. Is that a concern that they're going to overuse him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's not very dependable. How many games has he missed?
If he makes it through the season without getting injured, it's a minor miracle. I mean, there's no way I'm confident that Danny Amendola will stay healthy the whole year.
Especially now with the potentially extra workload.
But you never know who else will come to fruition. So we'll see. But Amendola will be the primary guy to start.
You'll see the third down percentage drop with Edelman, though.
Well, he led the league in third down receptions last year, or yards, and then second in receptions. So, yeah.
It hurts.
It's going to be tough.
Ouch. My heart hurts. Next question. Switching gears to the Red Sox, also a little bit of a painful topic. They won last night.
4 in a row, then they lost last night. Won last night.
They won last night. Are they still in the driver's seat? AL East. They lost 4 straight, won last night, barely.
You're a little negative today, Ruthie. Yeah, they're in the driver's seat, 3.5 games. Listen, they hadn't lost back-to-back games in a month. They're entitled to a little bit of a skid, right? And how often is Chris Sale going to throw up back-to-back clunkers? I think as we tape this on a Tuesday, he's going to have a good outing tonight. Pomeranz labored through his outing last night. Rick Porcello back to his Cy Young Award self. So the starting pitching is still there.
Okay.
Sure.
What worries me, listen, pitching always wins you the championship and gets you deep into October. But there's a stat out there. They have the fewest runs in Major League Baseball via the home run. I'm a little worried about their offense. Scoring runs. Pitching wins at the end of the day, but, are they going to win these 7-5, 8-6 games like when the pitching isn't there? That's my concern. But they're still in the driver's seat, mostly because I don't think the Yankees are good enough to overtake them.
I'm going to defer my answer to our intern, Tyler Salk. He's a baseball nut. Salky, come here. Let's go, baby. He's going to answer this for me.
Week, too.
Last week with us. Done a great job this summer. The question is, standing right next to Ruthie and Yanni, face the cameras, are the Red Sox still in the driver's seat in the AL East? Salky.
Going near Yanni's mic. Mark,
don't kiss me. Go ahead.
That's a great question, because when we look at this is the American League East. This is the toughest division in all of baseball, in history, and really in all of sports. We see so much parity. Look at what happened a few years ago.
Well, wait a minute. This is the toughest division? The Orioles are like 11 games back in third place.
We're talking about the Yankees here. We're talking
this
about
isn't 03, Salky.
Okay.
We're talking about a team that has so many young guys that are capable of doing a whole lot.
Okay.
Now, the Red Sox just lost 4 games. It's never over. Last week, you guys were saying, they are in the driver's seat. And look, we're revisiting that question right now.
Yes, we are.
And we still have a month of baseball to go. That's not saying the Red Sox are in a bad position, But what we do have to say, Yanni, Ruthie, Mark, is this race is still going on. This race is nowhere close to over.
Okay.
Excellent.
Salky, well done.
Exit stage left, please.
And thanks, Salky. I disagree with our wonderful intern.
You think
I think it's over, and mainly because of how Yanni concluded his remarks. I don't trust the Yankees. I don't think they can get it together enough to sustain a run that would be necessary in order to win the division.
What do you got, Ruthie?
You're calling me negative Nancy already today,
Yeah.
so I'm not negative. I just don't think that the race is over by any means.
Give me a date in which it's
All of a
wrapped up.
sudden-
When do they clinch it? The season ends, what, October 2nd?
No, I'm saying they haven't. When
Right.
do they clinch it?
You think it goes to the last week?
When are we talking about the
I
Magic?
want to see what happens this
Magic
weekend. Last Yankee series. I want to see what happens this weekend. I also, all of a sudden, like, Red Sox lost 4 straight. The Yankees are 2.5 games back. That's nothing.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What is it currently right now? 2.5?
3.5.
3.5. Okay. So they were up 4.5. They could have, I think, gotten it to 6
5.5
at one point.
at some point
Yeah,
last
they
week.
could have gotten it to 6 at one point. They didn't. It was going to get to 3.5. It might even get to 2.5. I'm not going to worry.
I don't like 2.5.
I know.
I don't like
but
2.5
it takes
at
a
all.
lot.
I
You got. It takes a
nauseous.
lot to get over that hump. To come back in a race like that where they lose and you win and you continue that, it's a lot. I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, it was going to get to 3.5. I'm not panicking. I think the Red Sox are still in control.
Let me ask both of you this. You grew up here, I grew up here. You're a bit of an outsider, but you have quickly embraced our...
Thank you.
Bit of an outsider.
No, you're not from here.
Yeah.
Where does the Red Sox-Yankees pennant race rank in your interest level versus everyday Patriots?
Yanni is obsessed with this question.
You like the rivalry.
The rivalry.
I
Is
do
it
like
reborn?
it. You don't like,
Yeah.
No.
I don't care.
Do we lead our shows? Does the newspaper front page, does talk radio lead with a Red Sox-Yankees pennant race or the Patriots? I still think it's the Patriots.
That's not even a question worth
Not
asking.
even close.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Which is crazy to think about.
I mean,
Most
go
towns
ahead.
in St.
that's-
Louis, where
I
you're
agree.
from, if it was Cardinals Cubs versus the St. Louis Rams, rest in peace, were doing well, baseball would be the priority,
it's
right?
a baseball city for
Yeah.
sure. This is a football
It's
nation.
changed from football since
With Tom
04.
Brady.
Interesting. Okay. Rams would be.
I'm just thinking, we like to get nostalgic on this.
Okay.
I think
Say it
about
again.
10, 15 years ago, if Sox-Yankees were 2 games out into September, that is a huge deal.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, they both won World Series since those days you were talking about. They haven't played in the postseason since 04.
They need to play in the postseason.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a deal.
I'll
And
be
we don't need to
excited
bring it
to
up
see
again.
that.
Conclusion.
Okay, we're not talking about it anymore.
Last topic.
All right. Obviously, it's eating at all of us inside. What is the outcome of the Cavs-Celtics trade?
I don't think anything major comes of the reports that the hip of Isaiah Thomas caused the Cavaliers to, think about the trade some more and try to maybe backtrack what they offered the Celtics. I don't think any of that comes into play. I think this is much to do about nothing in the end, and ultimately this trade goes through. The Cavaliers, they may try to acquire another asset and get
What will they get?
a second-round pick, a late first-round pick in 2019. I don't know. Nothing substantial.
So the Celtics say, fine, we just want this BS to end. Here's a second-round pick. You think that's how it ends?
Well, listen, Cleveland wants this to happen as much as the Celtics do.
They have more to lose. How is Kyrie and LeBron
Look, Kyrie's
mending
gone.
fences?
Kyrie's gone, baby.
And they're not getting a better deal
if you
than
send
this
him
one.
right. If you send him to San Antonio, you ain't getting the Brooklyn #1 overall pick most likely, or wherever you'd send him, the Lakers, the Clippers, the West. It'd be nice for him to go to the West because you don't want to have to deal with them. But this is about getting back the best package you can get back, and that's what the Celtics can do for you.
That's true.
So as much as the Celtics want Kyrie, Cleveland wants this to happen just as much, if not more. So nothing will happen, and the trade eventually will go through. They'll figure out the medical stuff.
I think the Cavs are floating to the media that they're in the driver's seat, but I think the Celtics are in a better position than the Cavs. They're not going to fix the LeBron-Kyrie divide, and they want that number, as you said, they want that Brooklyn pick. They're not going to get a better deal. And I wonder if there's a little bit of the new Cavs GM not really knowing what's going on. We know their owner, Dan Gilbert's a hot mess.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to strong-arm the Celtics, and Danny Ainge and Wick and the Celtic brass are saying, screw you.
Screw you.
We agreed to a deal.
And that is exactly what they should be saying.
And at the end of the day, Isaiah Thomas is a huge part of this deal, but it's not as important as the Brooklyn pick. We don't know if he's signing long-term max deal with the Cavs.
If it comes out that Isaiah Thomas needs hip surgery, he's not playing. He's not going to play.
Is that a done for the year?
Well, I'm sorry, Cleveland?
He's good.
Months?
Well, didn't
I'm
you?
not sure.
Cleveland,
But here's my thing. He doesn't play. that's a bad trade if Isaiah Thomas doesn't play.
He's damaged goods.
He's damaged.
Is it bad for Cleveland? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying
so
they're
you
gonna
think they're
bounce
going to be
back.
okay with
But
saying,
I'm sorry,
okay,
why?
we'll take your
Did
second
they
round.
do due diligence? Did they know what was going on? Everybody knew he had a bad hip. Why did they include him in the trade to begin with?
I guess
That's
they didn't know
sort of
how
on
bad
them.
it was. I mean, we always think these trades are final when it says pending physicals. We disregard that caveat. In this case, it apparently was important.
Okay, but again,
It goes through. The trade goes through. They've
Okay,
come too
if
far.
it doesn't
Trade
go
has
through, I'll
to
just
go
say this:
through.
if it doesn't go through, fine. You give me IT back, you give me my pick back, and we'll just
He's
stay.
gonna be salty.
It doesn't
Crowder's
matter.
gonna be
It
salty.
doesn't
Chemistry's
matter.
over.
He's not a part of the plans. When they talk about a championship, so if he's salty, I know it'd be awkward. He'd be salty. Nobody would want to deal with it. But he's not a part of the plans. You get the pick back, and you just keep doing what you've been doing. Draft
That'd
another
be
guy.
something else. That's like a 30 for 30
Again, this
years
is
in the making.
more about what the Cavs would be screwing up.
Yeah, I think the
Then they have
Celtics are in a
nothing.
better
Nothing.
I
position
think this
than
is
the Cavs.
probably one of my favorite things that's happened in sports since I've been in the industry, just hearing the talk about it. Like just from the inside, from like what media people are saying, and just being at Pat's today, we're sitting waiting for Belichick and people are talking about it. It's so interesting to hear every single person has something else to say about it, and there are all
Kyrie
these little
and Isaiah?
yes, and there are all these little people have all these conspiracy theories about the Cavs knowing about
The
it the whole
NBA
time.
and the Cavs and Celtics Twitter and social media accounts have already put them in their respective jerseys. Apparently
Yeah, it's gonna go
the
through.
president, the GM, isn't contacting the social
It's
media
going to
people.
happen. It's just a matter of time. Let them do
I will
this.
say this: the NBA has done a really good job of becoming what the NFL already is, and that's a 12-month-a-year sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Sure.
mean, from the finals to June, and now we're late August. We've been talking NBA that entire time. So maybe we take September off, and the league's back in late October.
I think I would
Absolutely.
disagree with that. They become a 12. I would say they're
Not quite
relevant.
to where the
They're
NFL
relevant
is.
in June, maybe May, and then in the offseason free agency and
July. All right.
October, November, December, January. I would
and
say
the
they're
games
pretty
are on.
irrelevant.
Games are on.
The games are on. Am I watching? Hell no. I'm watching football.
I mean,
But it's still a
college
thing.
basketball, although we love it locally, is a 1 month, nationally is a 1 month sport.
Correct.
It's March.
Yeah.
Baseball, a month or two nationally. I mean, you watch national, ESPN, FS1, whoever, they don't talk baseball
For
day to
me,
day.
I'll speak to me. Basketball is more relevant to me in June, July, and anytime some off-season
Sure.
acquisition is being made than in the regular season or early in the playoffs, because this
That's true.
is when championships are won. The moment Kevin Durant signed with Golden State, we knew who won the title. They might as well have had the parade that following Thursday.
And they have a long playoffs, which help. That's what it starts
2 months.
in May.
It's a
Yeah, it's
marathon.
2 months, yeah.
Okay.
Marathon. We're done?
We just poo-pooed on baseball all over this
We just
episode.
I didn't
poo-pooed a
poo-poo
lot.
on baseball.
And this was like a kind of negative Nancy episode.
That's a great episode.
It was good.
Mark
It was good.
likes to live in the negative.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
negative in certain ways when it comes to sports talk.
It's all right.
But I
Makes
think
it
that's
interesting.
good. That's good for sports talk.
It makes people angry.
If we just come up here and say, everyone's doing great, see you next week. Exactly.
Here's a trophy.
Right.
Everyone gets a
Yeah.
trophy.
All right. Well, that'll do it for another episode of Double OT. For Yanni Karakis, I'm Ruthie Polinsky and Mark Dondero. We will see you back here. You can catch the full episode online at WPRI.com. See you next time.